It is spinning, and it's not spinning anymore.
Oh, man.
We're live. Welcome, everybody, back to the Rainbow Comics Cards Collectible Show. We're here in beautiful, it is gorgeous today, I have to say.
Yes.
Rainbow Collectibles in Sioux Falls, beautiful Sioux Falls. It's a perfect day to take a bike ride, take a walk, go to the falls. I actually heard a couple customers talking about that, saying they were already at the falls, and they ate tacos, and I was jealous.
It smelled delicious outside, and I don't know why. If it might be the barbecue place across the street, but it made me really hungry. We do have a
barbecue joint right next to Little Caesars, which is like dangerous for me. It's like that's just
yeah.
It's too much, overindulgent.
Food.
But we have a big week of books to talk about. There's not much in comic news. Darcy and I were actually just sitting here trying to rack our brains on it, and I think it's just because we got New York Comic Con coming that there's not a whole lot of news to talk about.
Yeah.
So my bit of advice and news is go see the Blade Runner movie this weekend because got stellar reviews. I mean, places that I read reviews were given like 9 out of 10s, 9.7 out of 10.
Yeah.
One said it was like utterly perfect. I was like, jeez. So
that's pushing it. I mean, the original.
I know.
The original is a little iffy, but
it's good, not great.
Yeah.
It's good, not great. I think people are more in love with the setting than they are the actual film because it definitely revolutionized the cyberpunk thing. I don't think without Blade Runner, without a film like that, I don't think you'd have like Ghost in the Shell and things like that to be inspired by that.
That's true.
I mean, because
true.
It sets up that neo-noir kind of vibe. First real film to do so.
Yeah.
And I may be wrong. I'm not the world's most top authority on neo-noir. So if I'm wrong, please let me know. I mean, there was that one movie, gosh, what's it called? Metropolis, which is like a 1920s, 1930s movie that was really neo-noir, way ahead of its time. But Blade Runner, go see it.
Yeah.
Tip of the day. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but you know what?
Oh.
You can go in with low expectations and still get entertained.
It's got Ryan Gosling in it. Maybe he takes his shirt off.
I have never been a Gosling.
What? You don't like The Notebook?
Never did watch it. Yeah, I know. I'm a girl that has never watched The Notebook.
How is it that I've seen The Notebook and you've never seen The Notebook? I love The Notebook, by the way. It makes me cry.
I had other priorities.
All right. You've seen Magic Mike, though, so.
I have seen Magic Mike.
So have I. Not proud of it.
That was just wonderful.
Actually, pretty good film.
Can't think of anything.
I know. It's just slow news week for Sturf.
I've been more excited about the fact that hockey finally starts again tonight.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
I'm not super into hockey, so.
Yep. Hockey is finally starting tonight.
The Wild?
All the teams, but yes, mostly Wild.
Mostly the Wild?
You
just like hockey?
Well, yes, hockey in general. I have got shirts for the Montreal Canadiens, the Team Canada of all things.
My buddy likes the Sharks, and I don't know, out of nowhere, he was like he's never, I don't think I've ever seen him watch a hockey game or talk about hockey in his entire life, and he's like, one day he was just like, I like the Sharks, bro, and they're going to the playoffs. I'm like, when the heck did you even just begin to like hockey?
That's a good question. I mean, the Sharks do have Brent Burns, who used to be one of Minnesota's, but it was the past, and now he's a Shark, and now he is the highest paid hockey player out there. So
which is awesome, because money. Alex, don't worry, Alex. He's like TMI. I was like, it's open. I'm an open book, man, front to back. Well, back to front if you're Blake, but. By the way, speaking of Blake,
so true.
Blake does say that I enjoy watching rom-coms by myself, and I'm neither going to confirm nor deny. 'Tis my right.
Mm-hmm.
Plead the fifth.
That's true.
Wish I could quit you.
Oh, man.
Let's get into books before I start digging myself even further into the hole.
We'll talk books.
Yes, books. Books, bro.
Oh. Blake is failing on the.
I know we need a high five from Nebraska. Hopefully he can figure out like the high five emoji. I'm surprised he's watching from Nebraska. They have internet there? Just kidding. We love you guys.
Remember the hamster wheel?
I
saw that in the comments.
He does have new children to boosts up some energy in his house. So.
Oh, that's right.
You probably want to talk about that one first.
Yeah, I pulled this one just because, I wasn't entirely certain what the whole Marvel Legacy was going to do going out. So they're going to start off with a part 1 of Worlds Collide. So it's going to have both the Avengers and the Champions, which was the little kid version of the Avengers.
So this is a book for Mr. Blake, Mr. Craig.
Yep, you've got your Ms. Marvel in there. This is actually one of them where there's some rifts being formed. However, I got to admit, this is actually a great title art-wise.
Cool.
Which was
you're more of an art person.
I am. That's going to be...
Can you settle for good art and bad story? Or does it have to have at least a decent story for you to continue?
Actually, yeah, I can deal with a bad... there's like a bad villain, or...
Just, you can deal with some bad story, tropes, if it's got good art.
Yes.
All right, I feel
and
you.
I'll explain that one even later on, too. But personally for me, this one... Just knowing that it's out there, that they are pulling a little bit of Wasp, Vision, some of the more original Avengers characters in there. You've also got a little bit of Hercules, too. And the fact that you don't see Hercules in titles these days.
Hercules! Sorry, I had to do it. I had to.
I knew it. The fact that you don't see him in comics a whole lot, I kind of like that they're bringing him back into the fray. And there's more of them that they are pulling back out. But
well, he's just a tough character to really represent in our modern day and age. Because when people say Hercules, you get this either the Kevin Sorbo kind of envision in your head, or you get the Disney movie in your head.
Yeah.
You don't think of Marvel's Hercules. So
no.
It's definitely a tough character to juggle, but
and
good to see him back. I agree.
And also, there's going to be some titles that I pick up, I read it, and then I'm kind of like, maybe I don't want to recommend it, but at least to show that this is a thing. And I mean, it is a comic show, so we can show whatever we want. And
very true.
Today, I wanted to kind of show
at least start it.
Yeah. So
because this also kicks off Legacy's legacy numbering.
Yeah.
Because this is Avengers issue 672, so don't be afraid. It's just Avengers copying, Marvel copying DC's playbook. With the renumbering, DC picked up with their Rebirth and started renumbering Action Comics, Detective Comics, Batman, all that stuff. So this is renumbering and getting back on track to where their numbers should be.
And that's awesome to know as well.
Yep, no, absolutely. And this is part 1, Worlds Collide, the Avengers side by side with the Champions. So,
it's a great way to just, it's a great time to pick up some one-offs, or these number ones from Marvel. A lot of titles in other indies actually are into like 6, 7 right now, and that's really kind of a bummer for us, at least, because we like to show off new titles.
It is tough, but there's
worth
still
investing into.
There's still plenty of stuff here to talk about. But moving fast. The next one is Batman issue number 32. Now, I generally don't show Batman too much because everybody knows Batman comes out on a bi-weekly basis. Sometimes not bi-weekly if there's 5 weeks in the month. But this one I'm talking about specifically because not only is it the end of the Joker and Riddle, the War of Jokes and Riddles, but it's also Catwoman's response to Batman's proposal. So at the end of the book, Catwoman decides whether she's going to marry Batman or not. So, collector's item, collector's corner. When Batman did propose to her, that was an instant sellout issue.
It was.
First printings now go for $15-20. It's crazy. Who's to say whether it'll be a staple in the universe or how long it'll last? But
that's a good question.
Yeah, Batman issue number 32 has the answer to that question, also wrapping up the War of Jokes and Riddles. So, just heads up, Collector's Corner. Get this while you can at the $2.99 cover price, because once they'll sell out, and then you'll be looking on eBay and being like, why is it $10? So,
do you think it'll last?
I think so if they make something out of it.
Okay.
If they make something out of it, if they make it work and they make it something where Batman and Catwoman are going to have a marriage, then yes. if they make it something where Catwoman says no, and who knows? It's just, you got to read the book to find out whether she says yes or no. I won't wreck that for you. But will it be something that matters going forward? I think so.
Okay.
And I know the answer. Ooh.
I'm going to be peeking. Later.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, though, continuing with our evil Batman and metal tie-ins, Dark Knight's Metal, Batman the Dawnbreaker. This is the evil Green Lantern version. Not my favorite so far. Still cool, but if Green Lantern's, in your wheelhouse, this is definitely for you. Or if you're collecting all the evil Batman series, this is definitely for you as well. I thought we sold out this morning, but then John had his little secret stash of more, so that was nice. So we do have plenty of those. Do apologize for anybody who is into the metal tie-ins. We did run out of Green Arrow, but honestly, it was like they were gone. We opened at 10. It was gone by 10:20. Like, it was gone. So we got more coming. Be patient. This whole metal thing is taking us all by surprise in terms of the sales numbers. It's nuts. And they don't really ever, pre-tell us which tie-ins there are. So when we order stuff, and we order stuff X amount of months in advance, we only have some numbers to go on. So
that's true.
But we're getting it back in stock, and we'll keep trying as long as you keep trying with us. So we'll keep trying to keep up with it.
Yeah.
This is one I'm really excited about this week, though. Not a big fan of this cover in particular. I do like the other cover better.
That is, but, I actually like the other cover as well.
Yeah. This is Batman the White Knight, issue number 1. Now, this White Knight is basically what happened. What would have happened? It's asking the question, really, of what if. What would have happened if Joker became the good guy and Batman was the bad guy?
Yeah, I really, really loved the fact that they were approaching this as if Batman was seen as the villain.
Yeah.
The art is great. It's a little grittier. And it's definitely a lot more mature.
Yeah.
But then again, anytime that you go with the psychological side of Batman, things do get darker.
Yep.
For anybody that knows what I am into, I'm not into Batman, but I really did make a point of reading Batman and Psychology just to kind of give me that understanding of why is it that I'm not a huge fan of Batman.
Sure.
And understanding the psychology of what the storylines are coming from. And so this one really tackles that. I absolutely think this will be a fantastic issue by issue to pick up right away, and also to get a trade later on too.
Agreed.
So.
And only 8 issues. There's no excuse for you not to get it in issue form unless we run out. Because honestly, Justin, who's watching with us, he picked up one of the last copies. I think this is the last copy that is in the shop. So if you don't see it, come grab it. I will literally hand it to you while we're filming.
It will not surprise me if we do reorders or if they do reprints, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, this will go with second printing easily, and I'm pretty sure it already has. But I think this is cool. I think this is just fun for the sake of being fun, and this is the kind of fun and creativity we're getting out of Dark Knight's Metal. And if you watch back a couple shows or just see when we were talking about Dark Knight's Metal, I wasn't huge on the event itself, but I was excited about what would come out of it, and this is something that came out of it.
Yeah.
Because it's giving DC an excuse to say, hey, this is not in continuity, it's part of the Dark Multiverse, enjoy. This is original content, and this is what we wanted to write, and don't worry about where it falls, because it doesn't matter, just read it. So
I've never understood why people, wanted to go, or why they were afraid of going that direction, because Marvel has done What If comics for years.
Yeah, this is definitely DC's What If for sure. But yeah, I think it's just they have to have an excuse for the fanboys to be like, where does this fall in continuity? Oh my god,
true.
They're like. Honestly, I told the customer we were talking about it, and it's just like, I was like,
it doesn't.
Fictional character, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, it is true.
So enjoy it. It's I think this is the reason why we read comics. Comics are meant to be fun and enjoying, and this does just that, fills that gap.
I was
immensely.
Really surprised that for once I was kind of like, this actually is a decent Batman story.
Alex says he passed on this, but now you know more about it, Alex. Pick it up. This is going to be really cool. So, yep. Not your regular Batman story. Next one up is a weird one. It's DC and Archie Comics doing a tie-in. It's Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica.
Yeah.
This is a weird one. Did have an Adam Hughes variant cover, which was absolutely stunning and gorgeous. Those sold out, of course, because Adam Hughes stuff just is gone. But yeah, if you're a fan of either the Gotham girls or some Archie girls from Riverdale or wherever, this would be a fun book for you. It is rated T. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It is rated T for teen. So I know sometimes Archie Comics can draw to the younger audiences, but you might want to take a look through this book just in case if you are buying for your child. So check this book out this week.
Hey, let it grow up with Archie.
Exactly.
That's kind of what they've been realizing at this point.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Frank Cho continues to do some of my favorite B covers ever. Harley Quinn, this is issue number 29. These B covers are stunning and great. Frank Cho does a great job.
Does Cho just love dachshunds? Is that why he's always got a little wiener dog in there?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's kind of one of his trademarks, one of his things. A fun fact about him, he's self-taught. He didn't learn anywhere. He didn't go to school.
Oh, wow.
He just started drawing and kept doing it and kept going and just, eventually he just came to this.
That's awesome.
So he's a self-taught artist, just did it by himself. Nobody starts off perfect, but he just, I saw the interview with him where he was talking about it, and he's just like, I didn't start off great. I just kept working at it and changing my lines and looking at human form and just, I did it myself. He's like, I didn't have to go to school. It's not that I don't think I would have benefited from it. I found the way I wanted to go, and I kept working at it by myself, and that's what I dedicated my craft to. So, great covers. I love these. So pick these up while you can. They are pretty cool, and they do sell out. So if you try and collect any of the other B covers, they're a little tougher to find.
Now this one, I was surprised you turned away.
I haven't gotten in on it. Maybe the art turns me off.
I don't know what it was that picked me up about it. I Hate Fairyland was one that I've never picked it up before, and I kind of wondered, okay, this one says it's a special edition. The variant cover had gotten my attention a little bit the first time around, so I was kind of like, okay, let's find out what this is about. Has a little bit of a Walking Dead reference in there.
Nice. Well, because it's Image kind of making fun of themselves kind of thing, right?
It really is, because
I see Saga.
It gets incredibly meta, and because it is a special edition, they actually include towards the end the actual script and artist notes, or writer's notes, and that sort of thing.
I see Paper Girls in here.
I love
Spawn.
The humor of this whole thing, where it's not a foul-mouthed girl, but it's just a girl with some humor,
rage issues,
and yes, a little bit of rage issues.
It's kind of this is definitely a very Deadpool-esque book.
Yes, and the fact
but I would say more fun.
Yeah, it's a special edition one, so it's $6. However, this is a great one-off comic to just pick up, give it a shot, and I thought that was definitely. If you were a fan of Image, which I greatly enjoy Image comics too.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I've just never really gotten onto this one. I think the art threw me off, but I do know a lot of people who love this book. Like the people who do love this book are like diehard about I Hate Fairyland.
And this one gets so meta and enjoyably so.
Nice, I like it. Continuing Marvel's legacy, I'm going to kind of talk about these together. Iron Fist comes back with issue number 73. A nice throwback to one of Iron Fist's earlier issues, because that's Sabretooth, and Sabretooth first appeared in an Iron Fist comic, so a nice little Easter egg for you fans out there. Jessica Jones continues at issue number 13, and then this is a part 1. It's the Return of the Purple Man, which makes me excited. I love the show. The comic does a great job of following that theme or that darkness of the show. So if you are a fan of the Netflix show, pick this up. Netflix did confirm, I think spring of 2018 is when we're supposed to see more Jessica Jones.
I think so, yeah.
So, well, who knows? They just said spring, which that's always tentative. They could push it back. But yeah, these came out this week, and Legacy issue number 73 of Iron Fist, also part 1. So, but Jessica Jones, Return of Purple Man, part 1. Pick these up, part of Marvel's Legacy.
Like I said,
soft relaunch.
Yeah, it's just nice being able to pick things up with a number 1, or with a part 1 again.
Yeah, agreed.
They're not number 1 issues. They're just part 1s of
a new storyline.
Storylines.
I like it. Yeah. Speaking of new number ones, the Shadow Batman crossover. Now, this is not to be confused with the Batman Shadow crossover. The Batman Shadow crossover was DC creative. This is Dynamite's creative working on this book. So now it's their turn to take the team up here.
Okay.
I'm a huge Shadow fan. Always have been ever since I was a kid. Absolutely love him. The Batman Shadow crossover was spot on. I loved it, how they changed the mythos of Batman and Shadow to make it work in Gotham. It worked awesome. This, I have not read yet, but I'm very, very excited to read it. So if you are new to the Shadow, like Justin, who has no idea what the Shadow is, he was like, what's a Shadow? Dude, bro, come on.
I think you've upset him.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I was like, I'm not even about to explain the Shadow to you. Watch the movie.
So is this one? Is this a one-off or
this
is
going to be 6 issues, 6-issue mini?
Ooh, that's nice.
Yes.
$2.99 a title.
This is $3.99 because it's a Dynamite book, but I think
Okay.
DC did $3.99 as well. So.
Okay.
But I'm excited. I'm a Shadow fan. I know there's a lot of other Shadow fans out there that'll back me on this. Batman Shadow was spot on, really, really good, and hopefully this follows in its footsteps. It should. It's Batman. It's Shadow. It's easy.
Well, and I'm sure that I have no doubt that Dynamite is going to do something absolutely awesome with Batman. Anytime you can give somebody a chance to play around with a new character, that sort of thing.
Yep.
Even
exactly.
to Batman's an old character, but it's with a new, fresh look. So
I agree. And different creative teams, so it's just fun.
yeah.
Dude, Justin, don't bruh me, bruh. Bruh. Next one up is a new number one from Image. It's called Slots. This is a crime book. It's by Dan Panosian. I think I'm saying that right. Panosian.
Yeah,
It looks right in the English language or whatever language it is. But Slots issue number one is new. I don't know much about it. Now I do like the association with Skybound.
Yeah.
So Skybound, of course, being Robert Kirkman's company. I would say pick this up because not only is it an Image book and a Skybound book, but Kill the Minotaur just got picked up for a movie. They're gonna do it. It's ready to go. This is another Skybound and Image book. Buy it, $3.99. Read it, enjoy it, sit on it. It could be another one in the wheelhouse for Robert Kirkman to make into a movie.
I'm always a fan
Just saying.
I'm always a fan when it comes to crime comics too. The fact that you can have that whole narrative of let's find out what's going to happen. Okay, each week you get a little bit more, a little bit more.
Follow the mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my current favorite ones that they have going on is Hard Times, or The Hard Place. The Hard Place, issue number 1 and 2 came out last week.
Yeah.
That is super good. I love that. I think I talked about that last week's episode for issue number 2, but pick that up.
Yes.
Yeah, this is actually one I'm probably going to pick up this week, but it's Marvel Legacy Continues. This
I'm
is
so happy.
Spirits of Vengeance. This is the Supernatural team. We got Ghost Rider, we've got Blade, that's Johnny
Hellstrom.
Blaze up there, I think.
Nope.
No.
Hellstrom and his sister Satana.
Haha, Satana. I like it. Because you just put an A at the end of Satan, and boom, Satana.
Well, so Hellstrom went the quote-unquote light side. Satana went with the dark side. So it's...
This is Johnny Blaze, though, right? We're not dealing with Jamie Reyes?
Yeah, we're not dealing with Reyes.
Okay. Because some people are like, meh, on Reyes, and some people are like...
Nope.
like
this
Reyes.
one is... This one does not have
Johnny
Reyes.
Blaze.
I looked at it, and I was kind of like, eh.
That's cool. But it's about time we got Blade coming back. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Blade needs to be in these books, man. Blade is awesome. I do love me some Blade.
And you really got to love the fact that they went with, kind of all four corners on the moral spectrum.
Indeed.
And they are like, okay, they're going to go after everything in the world to go and save the world from an apocalypse. So,
Of
not
course.
the apocalypse. We'll cover that one later on.
I like it. I think that one's coming home with me. I like all those characters. I like Blade. It's about time that Blade gets some respect. So.
Well, and also I looked into who was writing it. Victor Gischler is also a writer of novels.
cool.
He writes humorous crime novels. And
that's
so
all right.
I'm actually really excited that they have got somebody with writing experience on this.
That can bring some respectability to the book.
And he also has done Spike comics as well.
Oh, sure.
From what I could tell, it was a graphic novel that was published, something like to that effect. So
Yeah.
anything tied with Buffy, that's okay.
Buffy's awesome. Spirit of Vengeance #1. I think that's gonna go home with me. That's cool. Star Wars, baby.
Yay!
Marvel
Our
keeps
favorite time of year.
right. Marvel keeps pumping this stuff out. This is Star Wars issue number 37. This is probably one of the coolest covers ever, though. It's got like this kind of juggernaut-looking stormtrooper, and then you got this like roguish stormtrooper, and then like a jetpacker stormtrooper, and like a like a flame trooper, and then a stormtrooper with a lightsaber. Because why not? So check that out. It's issue number 37. These, of course, we always talk about that official canon from Marvel and Disney. These are the things that they're acknowledging as more universe and history of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have those.
Yep. I'm definitely more excited about Phasma.
I agree. Yeah. Phasma's backstory continues. This is Captain Phasma, issue number 3. This is kind of her journey on how she escapes Starkiller Base and what she's kind of doing in between films. So, a great way to bridge the gap, scratch that itch for Star Wars, because that itch is always needing to be scratched.
Well, and it makes us feel less guilty of the fact that they gave us so much Captain Phasma for the release of episode 7, and then we were kind of like, okay, she's in there for the total of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Where was the awesomeness? And,
Agreed.
Granted, they did have to hype her up a little bit so that we weren't turned away from the fact that there's a super awesome character. Who is she? And
it's another Boba Fett. It's a cool looking character that does nothing in the film. Has amazing backstories, and
but she is getting a lot more attention for episode 8. So that's.
I think she's gonna do. I think she'll actually fire her gun.
Oh yeah.
Which didn't happen in the first one. Next one up. It's Halloween soon at the end of the month, but this is a Halloween Stooge-tacular. It's the Three Stooges, issue number 1. It's Three Stooges. I think Three Stooges is more of a guy thing, though. Are you like it?
Well, it depends. I mean, the stuff that I'm into are a little more campy. So 66 Batman, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
That's smart humor. This is definitely dumb humor.
It is a little bit.
It's slapstick. I mean, it's literally bonk a dude on the head because it's funny.
Well,
hit him with a brick in the face.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. I watched a lot of Three Stooges growing up, but it's always fun to see, and it does tie in with our October Halloween spooktacular kind of theme. So the Halloween Stooge-tacular, I like it. It's fun. It's different. I mean,
it's. And also this, I was actually looking at these ones too. The American Mythology publisher, they had a couple other ones as well that I was kind of looking at going. They picked the other one that was over there was Pink Panther.
Yep.
And I was looking at that one going, I kind of want to show it, but at the same time, it's more geared towards kids. And that's the thing is, what was it that got us into comics? For me, it was the Casper comics, which they actually have on the backside of American Mythology.
Yeah, they're doing more. They're doing those too.
Those 50s Casper comics, Richie Rich, the 10-cent stuff that my dad got to keep because he was the youngest of the siblings, and of course the older siblings kept all the good comics. I'm looking at, well, yeah, they know what they're talking about. So we got the rejected stuff, but it actually was what got me into reading them.
Nice.
So
yeah, Three Stooges, and then look for more from American Mythology. They've got Casper, Underdog, Rocky and Bullwinkle. Looks like they'll be giving away a free Casper comic for Halloween Comic Fest.
Oh, the nostalgia!
You'll be taking one of those home.
I will be.
And then I'm gonna see if I have any other legacy titles just so I can wrap them all up. But no, it looks like this is the last one I'm talking about. Yep. Venom, issue number 155. Again, they're just picking up the legacy numbering, so this is technically a new number 1 or a new storyline. Mm-hmm. This is Lethal Protector Part 1. They are gonna make him a little bit more of a hero in this. I do know that. Yeah. And then we're gonna see Venom stuff hot and heavy as we move closer and closer to a Venom film. It's already in the works. Tom Hardy's gonna play him.
Oh, that's right.
So,
is this with Flash Thompson?
I actually don't know on this one.
Okay.
I would assume so, but I don't know on this one. I haven't had time to actually flip through it.
Okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, there's going to just be so much Venom stuff.
Yeah,
We already have had a lot of Venom stuff.
Yeah, for them to have Venomverse, but is that starting to wrap up now?
That's all going to be wrapping up here soon.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good to know.
That's coming to an end. This one's definitely interesting for Tick fans or people who've been watching it on Amazon. I think it's on Amazon.
Yes, it is.
This is The Tick, #1. It's actually written by Cullen Bunn. And Cullen Bunn is kind of a guy, you either love him or hate him. He does weird projects. This is right up his alley. He does a lot of indie books, and sometimes they're a little controversial, and sometimes they're a knockout of the park. He did Dark Arc. I like Dark Arc. I also like just saying Dark Arc. Dark Arc. He did Unholy Grail. I didn't like that one. But he has done a lot of other works that I have liked. So it's fun to see him come over to an actual mainstream title and work on something that's a little bit more established, rather than just he's like got an idea that he's trying to get off the ground. So The Tick, issue #1.
Well, and I'm glad that they're making a comic again since the
TV
show
the TV
got
show's
picked.
back.
It is.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, have you heard anything good about it?
I've heard a lot of people are really liking it.
I've wanted to pick it up just because of the actors involved with it.
Some people have given Peter Serafinowicz not a fair chance because they're so attached to the original show and the original cartoon that they're just not really giving him a chance. But on the flip side, reviewers that I've seen and read on the season and on the episodes that have come out, they're like, dude, he deserves so much of a chance. He's so funny. He's so witty, and it's a different take on the Tick. It's still essentially the Tick. He's still just kind of this dumb luck hero that's just, he's too good for his own good, kind of thing. He's just like, ha-ha, that's just how the Tick is. He's just...
Well, and it's funny because, this might be this is the perfect time for them to bring that sort of thing back, because what did we have 30, 40 years ago was the greatest American hero, who was also a dumb luck hero. And if anybody has been watching football, they have been playing crap out of that theme song, which is just fantastic. It makes me happy every single time. But man, that one too was one where it was very good, but it was incredibly campy, and they did not have the resources that film production is at now. So they can do so much more now compared to what was 30, 40 years ago. Yeah.
So The Tick, issue #1, very excited to see it. Cullen Bunn writing. Cool to see him on that too. Got a few more, and then we're going to wrap up this week. But War for the Planet of the Apes. This is issue #4 for Bridging the Gap Between Dawn and War. This was a really, really fun take. I'm a huge Apes fan. I love this stuff. This wraps it up. It had a nice backstory for Bad Ape, so it's cool to see that. And then also some news for this. There is a kind of a choose-your-own-adventure or a narrative-focused game coming out. That's kind of like a Telltale series game. That's called it's called Planet of the Apes. I think it's what's it called? Like Khan's Journey or something like that. But it's one of the apes. And you have to kind of make a choice. The ape moves to like Colorado, away from all of this, like the war that's happening or going to happen. So he has to protect his family, and it's a choose your own adventure thing, but cinematically done at Andy Serkis's motion capture studio, Imaginarium, in England. So all shot and done at Andy Serkis's studio. So that's good, and written, done by the creative team for Apes, and cool. It's just gonna be cool, and I just love Apes. Apes, man.
And they didn't burn it out by dragging it out so many issues. I like that they wrapped up with just 4.
It's just 4, that's all you need. And it's just a really, really good read. It bridges the gap. If you want more Apes, that's your way to get it. You can talk about this one. I just liked it because of the cover.
I threw it in there. It's not part of the Legacy series, but you've got the Shadow King in there. And for those that have a little bit of a Marvel background, the Shadow King is really what was a predominant villain for Storm, and now you have him with a lot of your classic older heroes. So with Rogue, Gambit, Mystique, and I'm going to be shunned for the rest of my life for not remembering who the 4th one is.
It's okay. With how much stuff we spit out during the show, and
I want to say it's Phantom X,
how much useless information our brains store, it's okay. You can forget one name.
I think it's Phantom X. I'm not Is
he in a white suit?
Yes.
That's Phantom X.
But it's also got...
That's Phantom X.
That is? Oh, thank goodness.
That's Phantom X.
Okay.
Illuminati
I'm not going to die.
Illuminati confirmed. Phantom X is here.
The art is gorgeous, and if you want something that's a little bit trippy where you're not entirely certain what's real and what's not, this is a great one to pick up. And sometimes I like those.
Sweet. Shred it, bro.
Yep.
And wrapping up this week,
I still got my pull list.
Yeah, wrapping up at least the pull list, and then you got yours.
Yes.
I don't even think we talked about that calling.
We haven't yet. We're saving that for last.
That's true. Walking Dead issue number 172 continues the Walking Dead saga. I'm not going to talk too much about it. It's great. Read it. It's better than the show. They got to they do so much more here. You'll hear it from me once a month. So pick up the Walking Dead. It's great. And then also from the Walking Dead. I have a little bit of a bone to pick with this one, but
oh really?
Yeah, because it was first time in print. First time in print. This is Who is Negan or Here's Negan. What they originally published in the back of Image Plus as 2-page storylines went for like 17 parts. They said it was never going to be reprinted in actual book form, and then came back on that, and then it was going to be randomly inserted into Image's mega box, and maybe you'd get one of these, and then now here it is in mass production form. So yes, I'm excited to read it. Thank you, Image. Awesome. I do not like the fact that you've lied to us about 3 times about whether this was actually going to be in print or not. So
yeah, I would be disgruntled as well.
It's a little bit of consumer, you just getting bashed a little bit as a consumer because you bought all the Image Pluses.
Yeah.
For the people who tried to get one in the mega box, people weren't happy with it, with the ratio.
I can imagine.
And then this comes out, and now people are like, I could have just waited for this.
Yeah.
So thank you for getting this out. Yes. Good job, bad job. Good job. This, bad job, other stuff. No.
Yeah.
A wag of my finger to you.
We take those seriously.
Yeah. But I am excited to read it. Here's Negan is finally in a print in all one book form, and this is Negan's backstory on how he became Negan, or what he was doing prior to the apocalypse happening or the zombie outbreak, and gives you a lot more of insight as to why he is the way he is. Also, why he calls his bat Lucille. So, tip, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
And I do love the fact that it's a hardcover too.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm gonna do a magic trick. It's real wood.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so
yeah.
For this week, my book list is incredibly small. I'm going to be taking home, for sure, these are the ones that Brian pulled for me ahead of time, was All New Guardians of the Galaxy, which they're actually pulling in a little bit more of Nova, and more that I'm not certain what to anticipate really with this one. I thought they were going to be heading in a little bit of a different direction. So all of a sudden right now I got an issue that does not have my usual Peter Quill or any of my other Gamoras. So, but I would have expected Gamora a little bit more. So I don't know what to expect. I'll have to report on next week and find out what is really going on.
But you like that series overall anyway.
I love the series. And I have a feeling that has something to do with the Infinity Gems.
Of course.
And I think Nova was involved with it back when it was Adam Warlock and the Infinity Protectors. So
sure.
I have a feeling it has something to do with that. That was more 80s, 90s.
But a little tie-in.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also, Motor Crush.
2 thumbs up for this book.
Oh my gosh. I cannot stress enough how much I love the way that they are scripted, drawn out. For anybody that loves how comics flow, this one is fantastic. And the story is so unique. And it's racing. There's not enough racing comics out there.
Yeah, and motocross racing. I definitely got a crush on Motor Crush.
Oh.
I'll be here for at least another 4 hours, so you guys have to deal with it.
And this one actually...
I'll put that in your pile, sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, indeed.
I know. I gotta have my buys. This one I was not expecting to want to buy, but I'm gonna do it because this one is X-Men Gold. Of course, it's all part of the legacy thing. I was not expecting the art to be so freaking gorgeous, of which, oh my god. Whew. This
Hard to formulate words.
It's giving me kind of a flashback to back when they had Greg Land writing.
Oh, sure.
When they did Phoenix Ensign. If anybody has seen the artwork from that era, man, that was just phenomenal. But, you know, again, where they were, I was talking about having that, you can have a fantastic artwork and a bad villain. I absolutely hate Mojo. And
Mojo's stupid. Sorry.
And this one is bringing back Mojo.
Mojo's dumb.
He is.
He's
and
dated.
Every single time, I'm like, okay, why are we revisiting this one? But you know what? I'm willing to give it a shot. Just because of the fact that he is technically the one that is working behind the scenes. So he really only appears at the front and the back. That's it. And I can enjoy the rest of the comic as the heroes figure out what's going on. And it gives it a little bit of it. They tease it a little bit of an uncanny feel. So
I like it.
And anything that has uncanny X-Men, I just love.
Down.
So
down like a clown in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Alex says his pick of the week is Vader. I would agree. Vader is really good. Another issue did come out this week, but I was already overloaded with Star Wars and other stuff. So Vader.
You can never be overloaded on Star Wars, okay?
Yeah. But yeah, Darth Vader did come out this week too. And Justin's pick is White Knight. Probably hasn't read it yet, but I would also back that pick.
Yeah, I would back it. I'm not even a fan of Batman.
I'm not throwing you under the bus, Justin. I'm like, but I just saw you literally, dude. Unless you're reading it while you're driving, I don't think that's happening. Unless you want to admit on here, do it. Do it. He said boo to my joke too, though. Dare you? No. Last but certainly not least, hopefully my fiance doesn't watch this video because I'll be spending another $16.99. But the Labyrinth adult coloring book is here. We actually just restocked the Labyrinth board game, which is in our board game section. I've had the pleasure of playing it. It is so much fun. It doesn't take any longer than half hour, 45 minutes tops. The game designer is a French designer, and he had a huge love for this film, and he watched it with his young daughter, who's 6, and he wanted to design a game that was not only fun and engaging for just regular board gamers, but also something that he could teach and play with his 6-year-old.
Which that is a tough thing to accomplish.
It is. So what he did is the game itself actually doesn't have to deal with, like, it doesn't tell you roll the 20-sided die, roll the 4-sided die, roll the 6-sided die. They're all just color-coded.
Okay.
The 20-sided is blue. The green-sided, or the 6-sided is green. The 4-sided is red. So when you come to a challenge, you just roll the red dice. So it's really easy for anybody, and it really, really represented the film very well. The board has got gorgeous art. The figures are well rendered, can be painted too, which I'm probably going to do. But yeah, sorry, I got off on a tangent. I just wanted to show you or tell you guys that we got that back in stock because it was out of print for a long time.
We've also got a few other coloring books that came in. I know that Lady
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride has one. Thor has a coloring book. There was a coloring book for the women of Marvel.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one.
And then I think there's also a few others that involve Lady Mechanica.
Yeah.
They're really starting to pick up some. I do have a little beef with the fact that some of these are not adult.
Adult complexity.
I want my complex my complex coloring. I want to have to constantly change colors.
Nope, I hear you. This one is a little bit more of, there are complex ones, but there's also, it's just a multitude of artists that did different things.
Some of them are where I'm like, I am a special snowflake that I could just...
Some of them are a little bit more childish than the others. This is one that you could take your time on.
Oh, yeah.
So that's Ludo, of course, and Sarah riding on top of Ludo. So that one's kind of very intricate. And then there's also more simple ones. That one would be a little complex.
If you want to change every color.
Oh, look at that. I love that guy.
Yes. This is where we just start going.
Yeah, we're going to start
our coloring.
No one got that way. I love that little guy. He's great. This is a little worm at the beginning of the film. So, Labyrinth adult coloring book. Labyrinth is a timeless classic, so pick this up if you're a fan, and color it to your heart's content, and come back and show us how you did.
Or give it to your kids and see how well they do.
Brownie points for getting in between the lines.
Ooh, yes.
So pick those up. And yeah, as Darcy mentioned, there's a bunch of other adult coloring books. These are great if you work at a call center, can't have like your phone out or games or other distracting things. These are, I do see a lot of call center employees getting these just because you got to have something to do in between calls, or if you're stuck on long calls or on hold. Yeah, they actually don't have a problem with you having like colored pencils and sitting, because the call center you're sitting at a desk all day, literally with a headset, and you don't press any buttons other than your computer if you need it, and the calls just come in. So
oh wow!
So a lot of these are popular in call centers. So heads up, if you want to get maybe a Secret Santa, or you've got a white elephant call center job where you're doing that, white elephant, this would be a great just.
Don't forget the colored pencils though.
Any person gift. Yeah, you need those.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to wrap it up.
Yeah, I can't. I ran out of nerddom today. If you mentioned, board games, we have board games, and so if you love movies, if you love the comics that we talk about, they usually have got some sort of board game associated with it.
You're dang right. Or if you're not into board games but want to get into board games, talk to Brian or I. Brian's played a multitude of these board games. I've played quite a few of them too. We each have our personal favorites out there. Sometimes we differ on sometimes we differ on some, but at least you get an opinion from somebody who's played it. And we actually talked to a guy earlier. He was trying to get his son, kind of trying to bridge the gap and have his son play Dungeons and Dragons with him, but his son just has a barrier of like not seeing the physical thing. Had trouble just imagining. Because D&D, if you're not using miniatures, it's all up to your narrator. It's all up to your dungeon master to build the story with words and use your imagination.
Mice and Mystics is perfect for that.
Yeah, Mice and Mystics. I recommended a game called Dungeon Saga, and he was just like, "Oh, that's cool." I recommended the Walking Dead All Out War game because I was like, "Do you guys like Walking Dead?" He's like, "Oh, we love Walking Dead."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, that's a miniatures game, and it's got some role playing aspects, and you could maybe bridge that gap with that and start off with something that you both can agree on, Walking Dead, and like it." And maybe he can jump over that hump or get through that hump. So yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff to talk about at the shop. We have a lot of good advice to give you.
Celebrate Hockey Night coming back with some hockey cards too. Is that good, Brian?
Yes.
Yay!
He's like, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
plenty of hockey cards. We might actually be getting some soccer cards in. That's not confirmed yet, but
we've been getting a lot of requests. Lately,
a lot of people have been requesting soccer cards, so it's something that we're toying with and thinking about getting. So look forward to that. Other than that, again, go see Blade Runner this weekend. Come stop by the shop, say hi. Other than that,
I was looking at the number.
bye. I love you. Go watch a rom-com. The Notebook is good.
No, Mean Girls. Mean Girls.
That's not a rom-com. Come on.
Mean Girls Day was yesterday.
October 3rd. On October 3rd, he asked me what day it was.
Yep.
Hey, what day is it?
October 3rd.
Okay. All right, guys. We're out. We'll see you.
Bye.